Muy buenos días a todos. Bienvenidos a este muy especial mesa redonda. Hoy vamos a tratar sobre Ucrania. Vamos a pasar al inglés a partir de este momento para desarrollar la sesión de hoy. So, very good day to everyone. My name is Pepe Aguarot. I'm one of the founders of Grupo Evento Plus, and I welcome you all to this roundtable, which today is a very special one, where we have a very unique panel of participants, and we want to address the situation in Ukraine, and we want to understand what's happening there and how we can help from Spain, and how can we help from the mice industry with what's happening in Ukraine. Today, it's my honor and my pleasure to welcome Sofia Kayinska from Lviv Convention Bureau. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, but Lviv Convention Bureau. Welcome, Sofia. Tatiana Rybalka from the Nunca agency from Madrid. She's a Ukrainian, and she's in Spain for a number of years now, and we know each other for a while. And Oleg Pilipenko from Ticket Sell, also in Ukraine, and he's also in Lviv now. Welcome, you three. Thank you so much for accepting, sharing your story with us. You don't know how much we appreciate that and how we want to hear you guys. So I won't explain much about the session. I want to give you time, freedom, and options to express yourself and to tell us firsthand what is happening from your different perspectives. So if you have me, I'll start with Sofia. Sofia, can you tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit where are you and what's happening in your environment, please? Welcome, Sofia.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It is really important that we can share all the information, like from the inside, what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in the world. We are very grateful for all the support that we gain from all the world, for all the donations, for all the humanitarian help which is coming to Lviv, which is coming to Ukraine in general, because Lviv can be the first spot from where all the rest humanitarian help can be spread all over Ukraine. So my story, actually, I woke up from the call from my brother at 6:25 that Russia invaded Ukraine, and it was like we were ready that something will happen, but we were not ready that it will be like the full war all over Ukraine. So we were already familiar with what is happening on the east of Ukraine. And we were thinking that, okay, maybe they will start from the east. But they started from the east, and they started from Kyiv, our capital, and then they actually shelled the western part and the south as well. So they went through all over Ukraine. So the alarms were at 8 o'clock in the morning. Our President Zelensky said that it's a state of war in Ukraine. Russia invaded. Russia started the whole war. And it was a little bit interesting state when you are in Lviv and you know that Kharkiv is shelled, Kyiv is shelled. We have friends there, we have colleagues there. And what will happen next, how long it will take for us, will somebody help us, like our partners, EU partners, USA partners? And then now we are not counting today is the 11th of March, we are counting that it's the 16th day of war. So yeah, a little bit a lot of things are in my mind that I want to share. But still, Lviv is safe for now, even though we had two alarms, air attacks that were coming around, and two of our neighboring cities, Lutsk, and two neighboring regions, Lutsk and Ivano-Frankivsk, were shelled today. That's why we were hiding and there can be a catastrophe in all over the world, because we have Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and we have Zaporizhzhia power plant, nuclear power plant, which are under Russian control now. And if something will happen to these two plants, so the whole world will be affected. And for us, it is really important that NATO closes the sky right now, or gives us the planes, so our armed forces can fly and can actually protect us. Because if you remember Chernobyl in 1986, so it was a disaster for whole Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and the neighboring states, so and neighboring countries. That's why it is really important that the world knows that these two power plants now are under control of Russians, and they don't give the access to our people who can actually control this thing. That is very important for you to know that. Please go to your governments and try to write the letters, go to the protests and say, please close the sky, or please do something, because that is very important.
We will go to that later on, if you don't mind. Thank you for your testimony, Sophia. You mentioned that you had already 2 alarms this morning, and when we were not preparing this session, just for our audience to know, Sophia was sharing that she wasn't sure if we could keep the whole session, if there would be some new alarms while we are running this session live. Thank you, Sophia, for your testimony. Tatiana, maybe you can also share with us your vision now. We know you are in Madrid because you live in Spain, but tell us a little bit how you see what's happening in your country from the diaspora, so to speak.
Sure. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. I'm extremely honored that I can participate and connect with fellow Ukrainians on this call. I think it's really important that we stand for Ukraine, that we are together. I was born in Ukraine. I have lived there many years before my family immigrated, but I have very strong ties to Ukraine. And actually, I was in Ukraine about 3 weeks, a little bit over 3 weeks before the war started. And when I was there was talk, like Sophia was saying before, there was talk that something might happen, but nobody really expected that a completely different country can invade an independent country without no explanation, it's just ridiculous. Nobody really thought that it would happen. It did. My family lives there, my friends, my relatives, my classmates, and it's very heartbreaking to talk to people, because I think when you're not in Ukraine, we understand what is happening. We see the news, and of course, I probably see more news and more real footage of what is actually projected on the news in different countries, because some of the things are not spoken about. And I think it's important that we share the information and we spread the information. Like Sophia was saying before, the 2 nuclear plants that are now under control of Russia, it's so important that we understand the huge risk that it implies for all over the world. It's not a war about Ukraine. It's a war against the world. And unfortunately, even though people are helping, and later on, when we talk a little bit about initiatives, I will also mention the initiatives that we're doing from Spain, and people are amazing. They're helping so much, but it's not enough, because we need to close the skies. The Russians are bombarding Ukraine all over from the sky, and it's just a massacre. They're not entering by land and fighting like they should one-on-one. They're bombarding the cities, the capital from air, and this is just very sad. So from my standpoint here in Madrid, we're standing with Ukraine. I'm trying to spread as much information as I can, as much as we can do. But we really need to be more aware, and we really need to take further steps, because now this is the 16th day, and we don't seem to have, it seems to get worse, and we don't seem to have any solutions from other countries in regards to the support for the country. So that's my point of view here from Madrid.
Okay, Diana, thank you for your contribution. Oleg, maybe you can also introduce yourself and tell us where you are and what's happened to you and your business, maybe.
Sure. Thanks, Pepe, for coming, for inviting me. Hello to the audience. My name is Oleg, and I'm the founder at a technological company. It's the tech company called Ticketsell in the space of events. It's in conjunction of events and the predictive analytics. What it does, it predicts the demand in the events and does recommend the optimal pricing plans. And we used to work worldwide. We still work worldwide. We actually have some presence in Spain through our partner, like ticketing platform called Atrapala, but they're more famous in an entertainment space. I'm Ukrainian, and part of our team is located in Ukraine, and the other part is located in different parts of the world. And I can confirm what Sophia said. I may sound a little bit stupid, but we never expected the full-scale invasion. I know that there were like many signs and signals, indicators that that's exactly what's going to happen, but we just couldn't believe in that. And so my story, my brother was in a business trip when it happened. And I've taken his family, his wife and 2 kids, and my family, my wife and daughter and dog. I drove them to the border with Poland. We were living in Kiev, and I drove them to the border in Poland. And it took us about 3 days to transfer them through the border. And then I got back to Lviv and stayed with my friends. And my friends are from the ISIC community. That's like a student organization, and we're quite close friends. And we started to think like how we can contribute and help Ukraine in this fight, because what's happening, this is the full-scale invasion. They attacked on us through the 3 different directions, from the north, south, and east. And it looks, they put the ground troops, and it's very clear that they want to destroy us as a country, as a nation. And for us, it's very important to understand what we could do with the set of, we're civilians, but what we could do with the set of our skills to help Ukraine fighting and to win this battle. Because we're not giving up. We do have some, like, either friends or some neighbors or some people from the past dying, and you can see that from Facebook and people, and it's getting closer and closer. So for us, it's very important to contribute into our fight. Although Lviv is relatively safe, we do have like Serenas here, but that's much more safer than Kiev, Kharkov, and other cities which are really bad these days. So I personally got involved and I am involved into 3 activities. Number 1, I'm still running my company, which is Ticketsell. Number 2, I started to work part-time as a reporter at Croatian TV channel called N1. That's very new activity to me, but I can translate, I can interview the local people, and like 3-4 hours.
Going to the streets and talking to people in the street and trying to broadcast from Lviv to Croatia. Okay.
Correct. That's number 1. Number 2, they're coming here as well, so I kind of arrange the local meetings here and like writing the stories, like human stories. That's new activity to me, but I'm sure that's an important activity to tell the world what's happening now, what's happening to people, to real people lives, because that's what's happening is the disaster. You know, we were quite close to Russia, and there are like families where you have the wife would be from Ukrainian and Russian husband, or the vice versa. So it's a real tragedy, and so this activity helps me to spread out the world and to reach out and tell what's going on. And number three, my friends and I, we launched the fundraising project called prorizna.org. And a little bit of background, we initially tried to call to many organizations who help army, children, medical system, and we tried to understand how we could help within the already established process, like procurement, or like with all the variety of skills that we have. And the answer was that the processes are okay, it's established, and the main thing they need is funding. So what we did, we selected the organizations, like the truthful organization that we verified, and we collected the reliable links and put it to prorizna.org, and we contact our business networks and ask and stimulate them to donate, because that's the major problem now. So that's the third activity.
We will publish the address, the website that you are now, where you are channelizing, which is serving now as a channel for all this help. Let me ask you, to the three of you guys, maybe we can start now having an open conversation. Which is according to you, in your opinion, which is the best way for us, let's say foreigners or people who are not on the ground, to help? Is that via large organizations such as Red Cross or this kind of entities, or do you think we can help via sending stuff to help, or via local organizations in Ukraine? Or like Sophia, maybe that you are on the ground, can you tell us? Sophia, please.
Yeah. So first of all, we have the website Save Life in UA, where you can actually donate, and they will buy the vests, the helmets for our army, because that's a problem. We don't have
Say that name again, please.
Save Life in UA. I'll write this.
Okay, write that, and Christina will publish it in the platform for everyone.
Then we have actually the National Bank of Ukraine. They opened the account where people can donate. That's the other thing. And of course, your trusted resources. For example, I know that PLUS, that's the National Scouts Organization of Ukraine, here in, they are based in Lviv, they are based in Ukraine, they are based actually in our diaspora, so they are collecting things as well. So that's also the resource where you can donate things, where you can donate money, and they will buy everything, because now we have a lack of medicine. And that is very, very important. The bandages, the hemostatic medicine, which we wanted to buy, for example, in Poland, in Germany, but those countries has such a lot of a lot of people are going there from Ukraine, right? For yesterday, it was 2.2 million people who crossed the border, mainly, of course, women with children, and it's 1 million children already left Ukraine, and that's in my opinion, now it is the best way to save them. So yeah, you can donate those organizations as well, and the local initiatives around the world. I know that there are fundraisings selling T-shirts, selling all other stuff, support Ukraine, stand with Ukraine, and that's really great because we didn't expect that such a big amount of people will actually donate, will join, and actually today we had a guy, because now I'm working in Lviv Media Center, so we are having journalists from all over the world who are coming, who want to spread the news, who want to spread truth. Some of them are staying in Lviv, some of them are they are going to Kharkiv, to Kyiv, to Odessa. That depends on their what do they want to do and how safe they want to be. And there was one guy, he was from Canada. He's not actually from the army. He just the engineer, the mechanic, and he brought with himself like all the stuff that is needed for the reparation of the engines and so on and so forth. He just wanted to join, and that touched me so like deep in heart. So people are coming not just for fighting, but like for fighting and being useful in this war. Yeah.
A matter of helping from everywhere. Are you saying there's a need? There's all sorts of needs. Oleg, is there any way that you would recommend? Is something that you feel that is needed on the ground, especially?
I think what's important, what also important, is to know the truth, because Russia has and use the significant resources to to spread their propaganda through the world, telling that there are nationalists, fascists, that we kill each other or something like that. I mean, there is some so many fakes. So what's important is to know the truth and to spread the truth. We're here, we're real Ukrainians who suffer, and that's Russia is doing exactly that. They put their troop, they use missiles to kill civilians, and that's all true, and that's what's happening. And so far, from my perspective, the reaction of the world was great. I mean, there is a huge sanction imposed to Russia, and I think that's very, very significant help. It's going to take some time, but that's for us, it's very difficult to win Russia in military conflict, because they have a huge military power. But that's not the only instrument. So the information, sanctions, whatever you could do on the people level, we would appreciate.
So going back to I think this point is very important as well, is information. That's what we can do mainly with sessions like this one, with this kind of roundtables. Can you just let us know, for example, what's in the streets of Lviv now? Because I was calling some colleagues from Poland yesterday in the morning and from Krakow, and they were saying, look, Krakow, the main train station, is full of people. The streets are full of people who are just arriving. So how would you describe things in Lviv now? Give us a little picture of how is the main square of Lviv now.
Sophia, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I think you can add it. So actually my office is in the city council, and the city council is in the city center. So the streets are crowded with Lvivians and with people who actually came to our town. But the main thing is happening at the railway station. Actually, people are waiting for 8 hours to get to the train that can get them to the border, and they can cross the border. So we are trying to accommodate people who are coming and going. So there are points where they can get help. If not Lviv, so people are transferred to the region. So there are more people who can be accommodated. So that's the choice of the people, if they cross the border or they stay here. We are trying to be welcoming to everyone. But there is a problem that's not enough space in Lviv for all of those who want to be here. But I'm happy people are staying, actually, and the men are like they are leaving their wives and children and going back. That's inspiring.
Like this is what you did, right? You went to the frontier, to the border, you brought your family there. How is this? Just if you want to share this with us, how do you do that? Do you get special papers? You bring them there? I'm asking this because out of curiosity to a certain point, but as well because we have some colleagues that are now actually traveling to the frontier, and I will be mentioning afterwards some of these initiatives. But there's a number of companies here with, transportation companies, bus companies who are actually driving to now the frontiers, and they are bringing people to Spain to different hotels or campings or places where they can host them for a while. But it's also important for us to understand the procedure, how to pass this border, right? Paperwork, is it easy? Is it complicated? How's it working?
There are a couple of things. I think we spent about like 35 hours in a line on the border. So that was a huge line. That's the main difficulty. But other than that, I think lines are, it's faster these days. But it depends on, when they start like bombing some cities, then there are more refugees coming out. So there were a couple of waves already, like Kiev, Kharkov. So depending on the military action, there could be more refugees coming in some certain day. So it's just a long line, but the procedure is quite okay. One of the difficulty was with the pets, because as I said, I sent my dog out, and but there is nothing like the standard procedure is quite complicated. There are many papers you need to get you need to get prepared with, but now it's everything is very easy. It's just about the line. That's number one. And number two, I was doing I was a volunteer at the train station, and the problem was there was just a few trains going from Lviv to Poland to Peremysl, crossing the border, and I would say that at that time the system was not that much like the information flow was not very organized, because these trains are purpose only with like women and with the children, and so priority number one, just very small infants, and then elder children. So you need to build like the prioritization structure, and you need to communicate it, and it's quite complicated, I would say. But now it's better, I suppose. I've been there like yesterday, and it's been much better. But that day when I was volunteering, it was very difficult to see people coming from like different parts of Ukraine, very stressed. Like they just try to run out, and they believe that they will be safe somewhere else, and like it was quite stressful. But what else could we expect? So, but the procedure is improving.
It's improving, and would you suggest for people who are now, because there's, as I was saying, there's some private people that are actually driving to Ukraine to try and bring people. It's going like that, and you hear this from friends, from companies, and there's a lot of uninformed talk about, well, it's better when you go via Moldavia, when you go via Poland, or would you say there's some area where things are easier to do all the paperwork, or where there's more need, maybe?
I'm not sure about Moldavia. I know about Poland, and I think your point I think it makes a lot of sense, because many people, they just try to walk through the border. They just leave their cars sometimes and just walk, because the line is huge. But then once they cross, there is nothing in around, and it was very cool idea that they start to pick up people from the other side. So it's really helpful. I know about Poland. I don't know much about Moldavia. I think Moldavia is less people trying to cross there. But Poland was very big lines, many people traveling by foot, and they really had problems once they crossed. So that's cool initiative.
What I know now, like the Hungarian border is less crowded, but still I don't know what's happening when you cross the border. I know just about the Polish side that everything is organized right now. So you just cross the border, they will give you the shelter, they will give you the food, they will give you things for the children, they will give you buses who will just drive you to the safe place. Yeah, but I don't know about Hungary. Maybe the thing is the same. But what I know that there are less queues.
Okay. That's an important point for people trying to help from here. A couple of questions about your regular life today. Regular, if we can say so. But how do you manage with your things? I mean, you still have, I guess, your house, but do you get money from the bank? At the ATM, you buy your stuff in the supermarket. Is that so that we can have an idea, we can understand your life there? You go to the market, you can buy food, there's supplies.
But that's a great question. Well, first, from the accommodation point of view, for me personally, I'm not from Lviv, but I stay with my friends who's from this ISIC community. And like we live in a house, and there are like sometimes it's like 20 people living in a house. Many people are still transferred through the same house, but that's okay. I mean, there is nothing to complain about. I know these people, and everything is well organized, and everything is good for me. That's number one. Number two, like we're in stress, we're at war, but we still need to earn some money, because we have some savings, but we'll run out of it one day. So basically, and that's what I'm telling to everyone. We need to, at least spend some few 4 or 5 hours a day to continue doing our businesses and jobs, or finding another job. Because it should be this state. It looks like the conflict is not going to end in few weeks. It's going to be a long conflict. I don't know how much time it's going to take, 3 months, but we should be prepared for this conflict to stay in this shape for at least 3 months. So we need to continue our jobs, and that's what I'm trying to do, like a new one. And also
I've been thinking of these days that professional people, they still need to have some sources of income, or they still need to have some professional work, because those who can, at least, because this is going to last, as you're saying.
True.
Okay, well, let us move a little bit forward. We have started a little bit with help. How can we help? Maybe you, Tatiana, can share with us how are things from the Ukrainian community in Spain being organized? Which are the main initiatives that you have seen and helped with? And you share with us, please.
Of course. So I have been involved with a couple of associations. One of them is Svitanok. We were sending items from Madrid to Peremyśl, which is on the border between Ukraine and Poland. Medical stuff, food. There was also a raise with money that people were donating, because like both Sophia and Oleg were saying, besides all the material, the clothes and everything that people are sending, the monetary help is very helpful as well. So we have been raising money on that side. We actually reached Ayuntamiento de las Rozas. So this is just a region just outside of the Madrid city center, to say it like that, in the north of Madrid. We have been working with Ayuntamiento, so the municipality, And they were able to help us get in touch with the Ukrainian embassy here in Spain. The Ukrainian embassy, of course, has been completely overwhelmed, because it's true that people, all of a sudden, when the talk started of helping Ukraine, people really took the initiative, and everybody was really bombarding the embassy to see how they can help. So we were able to collect from 3 different points in Las Rozas material, just I think it was like 2 or 3 rooms full of boxes that were going, organized by the Ukrainian embassy, going to the border. From my city, I'm from Ternopil, so it's Western Ukraine, quite close to Lviv. I have been collaborating with their city channel, which is called TV4. And we have been collecting money with one of the rugby clubs and American football clubs here where I live, called Black Demons. And all the money that we're collecting, we're sending to this station that has organized a public help for all the refugees that are coming to the Western Ukraine. So what Sofia and Oleg were saying before, there were a lot of people that are coming to Lviv, there are a lot of people that are coming to my city, Ternopil, and just in general, Western Ukraine. So what we're doing now is collecting more money to send to be able to buy the necessities for all the refugees that have to leave their homes, mattresses, clothes, food, medical equipment. So we're collecting money now. We have also been in touch with different Polish associations on their side, because like the guys were saying before, there's refugees that once they cross the border, in the beginning, so 2 weeks ago, more or less, there wasn't so much things organized like it is now. Now it's really organized. Before it wasn't. We have been working with one Polish association to donate stuff and to donate money as well there. But there's a lot to do. I'm also in touch. I used to live in Canada before. I'm in touch with Mist, which is one of the biggest shipping companies that is all over. It's Ukrainian, but it's all over the world. Canada, because the Ukrainian diaspora, the Ukrainian community in Canada is huge. And everything that Mist has been, that Mist has been collecting, they have been sending to Ukraine free of charge, of course, all the boxes. So there's a lot of things going on around the world. But besides all the help, I really agree with Oleg that information is key. We really, besides all the help that we can send, all the people that we can, help, even the people that are coming to Spain, open our homes, or, see what kind of arrangements we can do with hotels to help these people with shelter. We need to spread the information, because right now people are informed, but they need to be much more informed of what's going on. Otherwise, it's just a vicious circle.
Great. Thank you for all your contributions, guys. I guess that if we can just put together all these initiatives, we see the information side, which is super important. I was talking to actually Goras Chat from Conventa last week, beginning of this week, and he was telling me that it is so important that we don't put politics into this case of war, because it's clearly a matter of unpolitical matter, in the sense that it is just one nation attacking another one, and there's pure violence. So I think information can help us having a very clear vision of what's happening here, and justice is on one side. There's no uncertainty here. And my guess is that the Russian counter information will try to set doubts in public opinion in other countries, and you will start seeing this via bots and things in social media. When they start denying the bombings, they say that operations are being prepared, so that when there's a hospital being bombed, this was said by some secret agents, that kind of thing. And this, we cannot let this thing happen and spread, because we need to be very clear. There's literally thousands of journalists in Ukraine, on the ground, telling the truth to anyone who wants to hear, with an open mind and open eyes, right? So that's very, very important. We take this as a very, very important point. Another one is, of course, how to help materially. We are publishing as we speak on the on the side all these different initiatives and places where we can help. But we have also published by Evento Plus this website under the Evento Plus, the group eventoplus.com page, where we are and we will be updating is every 2-3 days, that we are publishing lots of initiatives and lots of links to different sources of information, documentaries, even official pages from the president of Ukraine and so on, plus initiatives which are national, Spanish, local, Barcelona, Madrid, Valencia, Seville, Bilbao, you name it, Zaragoza, anywhere in Spain there's things happening, and of course global ones. And we will be collecting all this information. So anyone who wants to share what in his company, in his organization, in his neighborhood they're doing, please send that to us and we will check it and then publish it. And then, I don't know, guys, I wanted to just share with the audience, if you allow me just 5 minutes, a number of small and big initiatives that have been coming to our office in these last weeks, and we want to give them a little publicity. So the first one will be that from Evento Plus, we have launched this campaign, which is hashtag Eventos con Ucrania, and we are suggesting every company in the mice industry a donation of 500 euro to anyone they want, to any institution. We as Evento Plus have donated 500 euro per each one of our offices. And you guys know that we have suffered so much during the pandemic and we are not a rich company. And we're not saying this with all humility to just, look good at all. We just want to encourage by saying this, that anyone can do this. And I think we need to do this. This is my personal opinion, and this is my company opinion, but there's no excuse. There's no chance. We cannot lose this war. And it's not absolutely nothing anti-Russian. It's anti-invasion, anti-violence. And this is so clear. Oleg was mentioning before, families in Ukraine are mixed. These people are half Russian, half Ukrainian. We don't care about that. We have literally to fight this aggression because it's very important. It's against democracy, it's against freedom, it's against people. So first thing, please try and convince your company to donate. For companies, 500 euro is not much, but we, mice people, we are super solidary and we are a lot. We are a big bunch of people and we can help by being all helping making our donations. Second thing I want to say, just private initiatives that have been communicated to us. An agency called Sensaciones a la Carta just called me this week saying we have 90 spaces for refugees in the Garraf comarca south of Barcelona. Different ayuntamientos, as Tatiana was saying, municipalities are collaborating and they have the money for the petrol, but they don't have the buses to go to the frontier. Still, they're hiring something to go there, but they have the space for 90 people and they need 2 buses. If you're running a bus company, please contact us. And if you want to collaborate, please do it. We can bring 90 people to Spain. Beyond the agency, they have these musicals in Madrid and they're opening and they're donating the whole tickets of 16th of March, next 16th of March to Ukraine. So if you want to attend and see these superb shows, speak to them, contribute, and make your donation. Group 35, they are just raising money to get as well buses to the frontier, to the border of Ukraine, Poland, and trying to bring people to Barcelona. They are collaborating with ACNUR, with United Nations, and they are super trustworthy. We know them. So also you can help them. Rosa Bus, the bus company from Seville, they are already in Poland and they're bringing people to Spain, to Seville. And we just got a communicate from ICA like half an hour ago. And I see Sofia being happy because she was quite critical with ICA's position. But they asked me to pronounce this, but they're saying that having convened an urgent board meeting, ICA's board of directors has made a unanimous decision to cancel all planned activities and events in Russia. In addition, Russian members will not be able to attend ICA events until further notice. On behalf of the board, we categorically and unequivocally condemn Russian aggression in Ukraine. Blah, blah, blah. They say a few more things. There's a way for solidarity, and we are receiving things any minute. So please, guys, try and be solidary with them. It's a good cause. It's the best cause to help. We need to be behind them, and we need to help these people. I don't know if you want to have, one more minute or two to just, say whatever you want to share with our audience. We are hearing, we are listening. Sophia, maybe.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I was very happy to hear the news about ICA yesterday, because I wrote the letter to the board of directors. I'm very grateful for this decision, because it's the voice of all the convention bureaus and all their associations which are in this huge association. And I will also write the letters to other convention bureaus, because it's really important. My slogan for this war, diplomacy matters. I like that people are reacting. And of course, it is very important to spread the truth. And the associations actually have this power to talk to their governments and say that close the sky. Look, something is happening with the nuclear power plants. Please do something, because it will affect everyone. The recent news in Ukrainian channels and news, so that the Russians will try to do as this is Ukraine, who actually caused all the troubles with the radiation, and that's not us. Please remember that we don't have access to those plants, and we should have, because the catastrophe will happen. So please go to your governments, write the letters, so again they can support us in this way as well.
And very short one from me. Basically, we're not giving up. We're not gonna die. We resist and we fight, and you may help us to fight and survive. So that's like a survival kind of, they call it operation, but that's not it's not about the operation. It's war, and that's for us about the survival. Yeah, and we're not gonna disappear. We fight. Please help us, and you may help us win. Thanks.
Thank you, Oleg. Tatiana.
And I just want to say from my side here in Madrid, I have been in touch with a lot of people. I want to thank everybody that has taken the initiative. Please, 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 let's continue to take the initiative. A couple of weeks ago, we were on the streets in the city center of Madrid. 35,000 people gathered together. Not just Ukrainians, of course. There were a lot of Spanish, a lot of different nationalities that came. And I really thank you for supporting us. This is not a Ukrainian war. This is the war that concerns Europe and the whole world, and we have to stand together for Ukraine, because Ukraine is taking the biggest hit. So we need to support Ukraine as much as we can, not just the material things that are important, but with our actions, with the way, what the guys are saying, talking to our governments, spreading the word, and really pushing to get the help that we need. And I really thank everybody that has done, and I appreciate if we continue to do that from our side, because that's the least that we can do to help Ukraine.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Sophia, Oleg, Tatiana, for being here and sharing with us your personal stories. We cannot express how much we want to be with you and send you our warmth and our help and our solidarity. I don't know, any initiative, anything urgent, please share that with us. We will try to share with everyone, and we will try to contribute and help as much as we can. Well, I wish you very, very, as pleasant as possible day and weekend, and all the force to be there. Oleg, I like you saying you're not gonna give up, we wanna be there with you guys.
Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.